Here's why when I stopped to believe in the law of attraction, I actually became more successful over time. I used to be obsessed with the teachings of the law of attraction. I would just follow Abraham Hicks, Bashar, everyone, and Neville Goddard, and try to visualize. And by the way, I'm still following Bashar, and I still put the actions of following your excitement with no insistence on the outcome. But I lowered my importance of thoughts, giving thoughts and certain emotions, because that kept me so much from actually living my life, because I waited always for the perfect thoughts, the perfect emotions. So I would only make videos when I had the perfect feeling, and I always had to make sure, I always had to bring myself in the perfect state, so I have high vibration, and that put a lot of fear in me, because I was like, oh no, I cannot have these negative thoughts, I cannot have these negative thoughts. And if you're always like, oh, I cannot have these negative thoughts, first off, you don't build trust that you can have any emotions and thoughts and move forward. And then you're also focusing more on the negative, the positive, etc. So I would actually avoid so many actions if I thought I wasn't in the right state, and I would overthink every time, even when I was like on dates or had important things, podcasts, etc. I'd be like, no, I have to have the right thoughts, I have to have the right emotions on the events to attract the perfect things. But it wouldn't do me actually any good. Maybe it did a bit, but actually what I'm telling you, I became far more productive. I even created strong OCD from the fear of those thoughts. So I actually improved my life. I became so much more productive when I learned to move forward with any emotions and thoughts, because it built so much more self-trust. I built so much more skills because I did videos at any times, even with wrong feelings or wrong circumstances or wrong thoughts. And actually that over time made me way more confident. So there's a lot of wrong things in my eyes in the law of attraction, or maybe not even in the law of attraction, but how people portray the teachings. And yeah, people will always probably come even in here in the comments to like gaslight. They will always gaslight, say, oh, you didn't do it wrong, you didn't do it this way, you didn't do it that way. And they can say whatever they want, but I became far more successful living the life that I want to live, moving forward with any emotions and thoughts, and making it actually about building more skills, rationally moving through the world, being more in reality, being more in the present moment, and forgetting about, oh, these good thoughts are these bad thoughts. So yeah, if it works for you, do it. I don't care. Like, I'm telling you, it doesn't work for me. Something else works for me better. And I truly believe, use what works for you. And I still use the law of attraction to a certain point. Like, I still do a lot of things, like I'm writing things, I'm still meditating, etc. But instead of listening to all these teachers oh, you need to do exactly the formula right, this way, that way, I realized actually moving forward, doing actions in the direction of my excitements gives me the skills, brings more value in the world, and made me far more successful. So over time, actually my brain changes. And when I say my brain changes, I really truly mean that. My brain changed so much because I just moved forward with the wrong feelings. And in the beginning, it was so hard because it was like panic attacks. And I moved forward anyway with all the anxiety. And over time, step by step, I got more trust, truly trust in myself, far more confidence. And I started, instead of believing in the law of attraction, I started to believe in my own capabilities, in myself. And that built true, sustainable confidence. So do what works for you. But what I'm telling you is, if you constantly, oh, are these the right thoughts? Are these, oh, should I move forward? You are building more fear. You are bringing your brain on high alert that, oh no, we cannot do anything. And then your brain will give you more doubts. It will give you more feelings of not being ready yet to start things. So a lot of times this turns into a huge self-help addiction where you don't live your life. You constantly just make yourself a thing to fix with teachings, with self-help, with the law of attraction, with all kinds of techniques, and you don't live your life anymore. You're just constantly just saying, oh, I need to prepare myself to be perfect. And part of it is also, oh no, I want to be perfect first, so then I get all the validation and I don't get embarrassed and I don't get hate and I don't get judgment, which is that coping mechanism, right? And you don't live your life, you constantly just want to avoid being hurt. But the paradox is by saying, yes, I can be rejected, I can have these uncomfortable feelings, and you moving forward, that's when you show your brain, that little child, that you trust yourself, and you build real sustainable confidence because you're showing your brain that you can do things with any emotions and thoughts, and that builds all the trust in the world. But if you're avoiding doing the things that you value because of certain emotions and thoughts, the brain just freaks out more and it's like, oh no, all these things are dangerous. Okay, let me prevent you from going to the danger by giving you more anxiety, more depression, etc. And also by moving forward with the actions, you're building actually a support system in your life of all the relationships that you're building because you're going out there, of all the business, the money that you're building, of all the hobbies that you're building, of all the relaxation that the physical fitness that you're building a huge support system. And depression comes, this is what Mark Freeman talks about, depression comes when you avoid doing the things that you value because you're killing your support system, and then you have like a very depressed life, like you don't have a supportive surrounding anymore. I used to always wait for the right timing. Oh no, I have to be perfect timing, etc. And when I started to do it with wrong timing, wrong feelings, etc., now when I have an idea, I'm so much more likely to just right away do it. I right away do it, and this gave me faster progression over time because I'm getting so much more output. I'm learning so much more on how to do certain videos, how to have certain skills, editing skills. I'm just putting so much more content out there, and I trust myself more, which then I learn more from the things that I make, and I'm getting better and better and getting more successful. I literally did this with my school communities. I had an idea with the school community, I learned about it, I made a school community. A month later, I made a school community for group coaching because I already have one-on-one coaching, and really went all in. And then a month later, I made a community for my meditation school, which back in the day I wouldn't have done. I would probably have overthinking. And by creating this, I learned so much more about business. I learned so much more about handling groups. I learned so much about community that I wouldn't have learned if I just thought, stayed in my head, waited for the perfect moment. But when I jumped into the water and I started to learn swimming, that's where I became successful. And this is the same way I got successful on TikTok, by the way, in 2020. I just made video after video after video after video after video. And every day I would make videos because I got traction. And then I was like, I'm not going to stop making videos. And I just like made them no matter how I felt. And it got better and better, and I built more confidence. And that also builds emotional fitness. So this is truly what helped me. And I can tell you a great tool that you also can use is silent meditation, because then you sit down and all those patterns are going to come up that you always try to avoid, and you sit with it but focus on your breath. You ignore the patterns, basically. You allow them to be there. You don't suppress them, you ignore them. You allow them to be there, you accept them, basically. You can use different definitions. Some people don't like ignore because they use it as a definition of suppressing, but not really. It's you are making those inactive, but they're still going to be uncomfortable, so you're okay with being uncomfortable while focusing on your breath. If you want to learn all of that I learned and how it changed my life so much and built all that confidence and trust, I wrote the How to Build Emotional Fitness book. It's in the description. Also, I teach that emotional fitness meditation as well. I have an entire meditation school where I teach the meditation live on Zoom. So if you want to join that, that's also in the link in my description. Start trusting yourself, start building the skill to make yourself your own authority, and don't put other people on the pedestal and follow step by step what they're saying. take the tools that work for you. Yeah, you have to figure out if they work. You have to practice for a while to see if they work, and then keep the things that work for you and leave out the things that don't work for you. Let me know what questions you guys have, and I really enjoyed making this video. I'll see you guys soon.